So I'm really interested in this year's Emmys. I'm always interested. I'm an awards guy, so I'm always interested. But this year's nominees, there's a lot of curious, interesting nominees that I like. And one of those categories that I like is Outstanding Guest Actor in a Comedy Series. You have Will Poulter for The Bear, Matthew Broderick for Only Murders in the Building, Ryan Gosling for Saturday Night Live, Jon Bernthal for The Bear, Christopher Lloyd for Hacks, and Bob Odenkirk for The Bear. So I'm going to go through some of these, and I think I'm going to give who I hope wins. I'm not even sure who. I'm sure there's a clear cut choice in this category, but I'm going to give my ideas about who I think should win. Let's go down the list. William Poulter for The Bear. He's a newbie. Sometimes the Emmys do this thing where they kind of give new people a win. I guess they feel like sometimes, well, they might not ever get nominated again, so we're just going to give it to them. So it reminded me when Bruce Willis was on Friends. I think he won the Emmy for that role. And he was fine in it, but it's like, I don't know if Bruce deserved that. But he was a name, and I can't remember if Bruce ever won for Moonlighting or not. Most likely Bruce didn't win for Moonlighting for playing David Addison. He should have. He should have won multiple. But so maybe this was like a makeup one for Bruce Willis. So Will Poulter might be the same way, where they feel like, we don't know if he's ever going to be nominated again, so we're going to give him this award. Matthew Broderick for Only Murders in the Building. Matthew Broderick is solid. He's a solid actor. The issue is Only Murders in the Building. As much as Hollywood says they love Steve Martin and Martin Short, they have completely snubbed this show when it comes to awards. Every year, Only Murders in the Building gets nominated, and every year they get screwed. The show never wins. Steve never wins. Martin Short never wins. Selena, she never wins. She's hardly even nominated. I think she finally got her first nomination this year, I think. But you would think, but Hollywood's done this to Steve Martin. Like, Steve Martin, to me, should have won an Oscar for Roxanne. He was amazing in Roxanne. But for some reason, man, Hollywood got this thing with comedians. They don't really want to award them dudes if they're doing dramas or something that's really gripping. And I just think Only Murders in the Building is like really good. And for some odd reason, the Emmy voters just don't want to award them, But it's a good show. Ryan Gosling for Saturday Night Live. Ryan Gosling, outside of The Fall Guy not working, this has been a great year for Ryan Gosling. Barbie was huge. The whole Ken thing at the Oscars was huge. At one point when Barbie was out, I said, you know what? I think Gosling got a chance to win Best Supporting Actor. He didn't win, but it would have been kind of cool if Ryan Gosling won an Oscar for playing a Ken doll. So the Emmys might jump in and say, you know what? Gosling had a great year with Barbie. He was really good on Saturday Night Live because Gosling could do anything. He could be funny. He can be dramatic. He can go crazy. He's actually an underrated actor. He's one of those guys when his career's done, you look at his filmography, it's like, he's more quality over quantity. He just don't pump out a bunch of films. Like sometimes he just takes breaks. Sometimes he puts out a bunch of films at once and then he takes breaks. But if you look at his filmography, you got The Notebook, of course, The Eyes of March with George Clooney, La La Land, Barbie. This dude's just a solid cat. And when he was on Saturday Night Live, one of the big things that came out from that episode was the Beavis and Butthead sketch. And it was cool. It was funny. But he's just, if he wanted to, I think Ryan Gosling could have been a very excellent improv actor. But he's just a talented guy. So they might just give it to him just because Barbie. Jon Bernthal for The Bear. Listen, Jon Bernthal should at least have 2 Emmys, at least one. He should have won for The Walking Dead season 2, playing Shane. People always talk about Bryan Cranston with his arc, going from almost like nice guy to villain. Well, Jon Bernthal, when he played Shane, because he was Rick Grimes' best friend, and then they thought Rick was dead, and he got with Rick's wife, Lori, and it was kind of a little chaotic, but wasn't that bad. But then that second season, he snapped. Like Shane, there was an episode when he looked in the mirror and started shaving his head, and he looked like De Niro in Taxi Driver. Shane flipped, and Shane's been gone off The Walking Dead. I mean, it's over, but he was gone for years, and people still talked about him like he was on the show the whole time. People talk about Shane like he's Daryl Dixon. Daryl's been on there since day one, and Daryl has a spinoff, and people still talk about Jon Bernthal as his portrayal of Shane is one of the greatest roles ever. And he showed up won an Emmy for that. He could have won an Emmy for his work as the Punisher on Daredevil. He could have won an Emmy playing the Punisher in his own series. Bernthal was really good in the reboot of American Gigolo. Yeah, Jon Bernthal is a really talented actor. And I don't even know what he did on The Bear. But if the Emmy voters feels like, you know what, maybe we should have gave Bernthal an Emmy nomination and a win back on The Walking Dead or even on Daredevil, he might win it from here. Christopher Lloyd for Hacks. Didn't see Hacks. No Christopher Lloyd. I was curious to see if Christopher Lloyd actually won any Emmys for Taxi. And he did. For playing Reverend Jim, he won in 82 and 83. So he's won Emmys before, but it's been over 40 years. I mean, it's been a long time since he's won. The amazing thing is he's been married 5 times. I thought Christopher Lloyd was one of those dudes who's been married for like 40 years. He's been married 5 times. Part of me feels like maybe I should have been married for 5 times. Now, that's a lot of alimony. I would have been broke as hell. But man, maybe I should have been married 5 times. I have 3 out of the 4 wives still like me and 2 absolutely hate me. Knowing my luck, I'll be 4 for 4. Everybody hates me. But yeah, man. So Christopher Lloyd has 2 Emmys, but they might give it to him depending what he did on Hacks. He might have been really good on Hacks, but I don't know. And last but not least, we have Bob Odenkirk. I believe that Bob Odenkirk, and I don't know what he did on The Bear, but I feel like the Emmy voters did him a disservice by not giving him an Emmy for playing Saul Goodman. Now, Bob Odenkirk does have 2 Emmys, but they're writing Emmys. They're Emmys for the Ben Stiller Show. I think it was like 93 or 92. And again, for Saturday Night, he was a writer on Saturday Night Live, and that was 89. But as far as acting goes, he never won Emmys for Mr. Show, which is crazy. But most importantly, he's had a lot of shots of getting nominated as Best Supporting Actor playing Saul Goodman on Breaking Bad. He didn't get nominated. He didn't win for that. And for all those years, Better Call Saul has never won any Emmys. None. It's up there with The Wire, with a great show that didn't win anything. You would think that even Rhea Seehorn, who played Kim, I think, should have won, especially like that last season. Rhea Seehorn should have won something. But when I was looking at when Better Call Saul was ending, because I figured just like Jon Hamm. Jon Hamm was nominated, I think, every year for Mad Men and didn't win until his last year for playing Don Draper. So I figured the same thing was going to happen to Bob Odenkirk. And I was like, listen, and they split up the final season, so he had 2 shots of winning Best Actor, and he was nominated for Best Actor. And again, they didn't give Bob Odenkirk the award for Saul playing Saul Goodman. I don't know how you can watch that character, watch his portrayal, and not see Emmy-worthy talent. Like, who are these people who vote for these awards? What are they watching? So, they might say, you know what, we messed up by not giving him the award for playing Saul Goodman in Better Call Saul, or playing Saul Goodman or in Breaking Bad, or just awarding Better Call Saul for being a great show. For all the awards Breaking Bad, it's almost like they said we gave Breaking Bad too many awards. So for Better Call Saul, we're not going to give you crap. So I'm pulling for Bob Odenkirk to win for The Bear because I feel like it's a makeup award. And again, he might have been excellent on The Bear. I don't know. But to me, that's like a makeup award. For all those years, they should have been giving him awards for Mr. Show, for Better Call Saul, and for Breaking Bad. But like I said, most likely it could end up being Ryan Gosling for Saturday Night Live. I don't know, because Gosling has had a great year, but any of these guys could win. But tell me, as you look at this list, who do you think is going to win Best Actor in a comedy series?